Should you be able to use your parents' money for your own defense when you're accused of killing them? Are Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles real? Should Sesame Street's Elmo be nonpartisan or take a side? Did a drag queen go too far with her trademark name? Do you still have a functioning VCR? And have you seen Scary Movie yet? And should you? We'll answer all of those questions and more this week on the bonus episode of the Swish Edition.
It's your weekly pop culture roundup every Wednesday. The Swish Edition with Robbie and Walla Walla.
Town so nice they named it twice.
And Scott in Sin City.
Viva Las Vegas.
We've got all the pop culture silliness of the week you totally need to know. Brace yourselves. This is the Swish Edition.
Hey, everybody. This is a special bonus episode of the Swish Edition. This is episode 519, and it's June 12th. What's up with that? A new show coming out on Friday? Are you excited? Are you excited?
Friday the 12th.
Excited. I'm excited. How are you, Robbie?
I'm good.
Good.
You know, I had a shirt that said, it was a picture with a calendar that said Friday the 12th. And it was a picture of Jason Voorhees from the Friday the 13th franchise looking really sad because it was Friday the 12th and not Friday the 13th. I wish I could still fit into that shirt because I would wear it, but I don't know what happened to it because I outgrew it. I mean, it was a medium and I am not a medium.
I have some things that I can't wear. I have a couple pairs of pants that I can't get the button closed, but I keep them in a special shelf in case I get back there.
I like that positive thinking.
Yeah. Plus, I'm a pack rat, so I have everything that I've ever had, pretty much. So it's kind of scary. But the reason we're doing another episode this week is because I had written an outline of like 10 stories for Wednesday's show, and we got to 4 of them.
Time just went by like that.
Well, plus we talked about things that we didn't even plan on talking about, like the Tonys. So it was all good, and we had fun, and I think it was a fun episode. But now we're going to get to the stories that we didn't get to 2 days ago. How about that? So I'm going to start with this one. Have you heard this story, Robbie? It is so crazy. Basically, it's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles come to life in New York City. We've talked a lot about the sewers on this show lately, haven't we?
We have.
Yeah. So there's these mysterious sewer people in New York City. People have seen these people enter the sewers through the manhole covers in the middle of the street, like in Brooklyn, out in Queens, in Manhattan, and they'll be down there for several hours, and then they mysteriously come back up. And this only happens at night.
It's like Super Mario Brothers. You're going into the pipes.
It's so crazy. Well, there's multiple social media videos that have documented these groups of people going down in the middle of the night. And the city, they have crack teams that go down there and check the sewers all the time to make sure everything's okay. They went down and they didn't find any damage. They didn't find any evidence of any wrongdoing down there. So people probably think that they're most likely treasure hunters. Or maybe they're looking for alligators. Didn't we talk about alligators?
We did
2 weeks ago. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. One person saw them go down in Brooklyn and kept an eagle eye on them, and they didn't come up for 3 hours. And they were wearing hip waders and carrying flashlights, not pizzas. So
hey man, maybe it's like the latest VIP like speakeasy lounge in New York City. Extreme speakeasy.
I love that. It was super extreme.
Well,
you couldn't pay me to go down there. Do you know how many rats are probably down there?
Ugh, I don't even want to know what the sewers of New York looks like. There's a movie. I can always relate some story to some weird movie I've seen. There's an 80s horror film called Chud. Chud. Did you ever see it?
No.
It's it's an acronym, and it stands for Cannibalistic Humanoid Underground Dwellers. And I think that's what we have here.
Perfect.
In
It
that
could
movie, there was like pe- beings under this in the sewers that were eating homeless people that were, hiding out around the city because these beings were affected by like radiation, like toxic waste poisoning, and they were killing the homeless people. And then when they ate all the homeless people, they started coming out of the sewers to kill people in the city. Hopefully, this is not what that is.
I'm hoping that's not the case here.
But
Yeah,
a
that would be
fun thing
pretty
about
horrific.
that movie is that Daniel Stern and John Hurd are both in that movie, and they also both starred in Home Alone together.
That is
So
true.
it's kind of a weird fun fact, and John Goodman is in it for, like, a minute as a police officer.
John Goodman shows up everywhere.
Yeah.
He just mysteriously shows up in
Well,
lots
it's
of
weird when you
TV
see
shows and
John
movies.
Goodman younger and skinnier.
Yeah. He's actually lost a lot of weight now that he's older. I think maybe he did the GLP-1 or something, I don't know.
I mean, good for
Anyway.
him, but he just doesn't look the same to me.
No, he looks completely
I mean, not that
when
anyone's going to all these years later, but
yeah.
it's jarring.
No, it happens a lot when you're so used to seeing someone overweight their entire careers, and then all of a sudden the weight's gone. That happens with people in real life too. I mean, it's
Yeah,
it's kind of like,
well,
whoa,
and not well, I know we're trying not to get off topic here, but I wanted to bring this up because
you're not capable.
we're talking about someone who doesn't look like themselves anymore. We just saw Joan Cusack on the red carpet for Toy Story 5 because she
Yeah,
does the voice of was it Bo Peep maybe?
the
I don't know.
cowgirl. Yeah,
I don't watch those movies, but she hasn't been out in the public eye for like 10 years.
yeah.
She is unrecognizable. She aged like 30 years in 10 years.
She.
Joan Cusack.
I
I
don't want
love
to
her
say
to
she
death.
looks bad. I love her. Yeah, and you were inspired to post something, a meme about from Working Girl today.
Yes, I did.
She's so good. She's one of the best people in that movie.
Sometimes I dance around in my underwear in my apartment. Doesn't make me Madonna. Never will.
$6,000?
It's not even
not even
leather.
leather. If you guys don't know Working Girl, you're an idiot because it's one of the best movies. One of the best. Harrison Ford, Sigourney Weaver, Melanie Griffith.
A song by Carly Simon.
I could watch that 100 times and never get tired of it.
I love it.
Yeah.
So
Speaking of movies.
Yeah, so we're going to segue into Rob Reiner in a not so fun story.
That's so weird.
Everybody knows that he got murdered by his son last December. I guess we're supposed to say alleged because that's what people do now if you're not convicted. But so now Nick Reiner is the name of the son, and there's pictures of him out in the press now, and he looks crazy, but he is petitioning to get his inheritance money from his dead parents so that he can pay for his defense. How crazy is that?
Because his brother and sister refused to give him any money.
Yeah, so the kid's only 32, but which is sad all around. So another thing is that there's something about the autopsies. Now, Scott, the autopsies have been performed. They have just been sealed and blocked by the court.
Why is that?
I don't know. I guess because of the ongoing trial, maybe they don't want jurors to have an opinion. I don't know, but for some reason, they have not released the autopsy report. But they have done those. But yeah, because this happened about 6 months ago. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think he should get this money or no?
No, he doesn't deserve a dime of it.
When I saw that, my feelings were very strong, and I couldn't imagine anyone allowing this. What what I mean, it's like almost like, okay, the Menendez brothers, remember them? They killed their parents, and they did get the inheritance because they were never convicted of it. I mean, not at first, they were later. It took like a couple of years. The murders happened in '89, I believe, and I don't think they got convicted and sent to jail about it until like '94, maybe. It was a while, but they were out spending all the money, but I don't know if they had to give any of it back. Who are you going to give it back to?
And what good does it do them,
Well,
to
and
have the money now?
well, and in this case, they were the only siblings, I believe, those guys. But with the Reiners, there's two other siblings, and they are the ones that are in charge of this. And yeah, I don't think Nick Reiner deserves anything. And I do think you have to say allegedly, but no, he killed his parents. There's no doubt about that.
Well,
He's a
I mean,
murderer.
yes, we that's what we've been told. That's what we've been told. But we also understand that he has severe mental problems, so he may very well um, not go to prison, but go to a mental hospital for the rest of his life, like Hinckley did after he shot Reagan.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens. But yeah, that
Yeah,
was just a weird thing going on and crazy story.
it is a
He doesn't
crazy
deserve any
story.
money. No, no money.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. So I thought this was really fun. A couple days ago, well, it was actually last week on June 3rd. There's an official account for Elmo. You know who Elmo is? The little red monster guy from Sesame Street. You're familiar with him,
Yeah,
right?
tickle me Elmo.
Yeah. He's very cute. He's very cute. Everybody loves Elmo, but not everybody loves Elmo now because he wrote on June 3rd, which was referencing the NBA game between the Knicks and the Spurs. He says, Elmo hopes both teams have fun. And then he put four basketball emojis on his, I guess it was on X.com on Twitter. Well, this did not go over well with fans in New York City who are rooting for the Knicks because they believe Elmo should be a Knicks fan because he lives on Sesame Street, which is in New York. So, isn't that funny?
Well, I'm sure there's people that live in New York that aren't Knicks fans.
Well, I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is.
And I'm sure they get beat up every day.
Right. But I thought it was funny that, even Elmo can get in hot water on social media for saying the wrong things.
Man, these days anybody can get in trouble for anything. Everybody's so touchy and on edge that even
I
Elmo
know.
is not safe.
I know. Well, I thought it was really funny. But then, we've talked about this before. So people said, pick a side, man. And then Wendy's got involved. Remember, we've talked about Wendy's social media accounts before.
They are there.
And they wrote, replying to Elmo's, I hope everyone just has fun. They said, not now, Elmo. Because I guess, I don't know if Wendy's picked a side, but they were telling him that he said the wrong thing. In the end, Elmo understood what he did, and he posted again. He said, Nix, that last message, Elmo didn't mean to spur you on.
Okay, I see that. I see what they did there.
And in case you didn't know, if you were living under a rock or something, the Knicks won the first two games. The Spurs won game 3, which was this past Monday night. Game 4 was Wednesday night, but because we taped this show 36 hours before you hear it, we can't tell you what happens because it hasn't happened yet. But I'm sure Elmo will have something to say about it. So make sure you follow Elmo on Twitter.
Elmo. I've always been more of a Grover person.
Yeah. Oh, I love Grover.
Yeah.
I still have a Grover book here somewhere where he goes to the art museum or something.
Yeah, Grover is like the kids from the 70s, 80s love Grover for some reason.
Yeah.
Elmo didn't get big until the 90s with that.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't even think he existed until the 90s.
Yeah, he came later. Yeah.
But he looks like he's related to Grover. Isn't he his nephew or something? Don't quote me on that.
I don't know their lineage.
And I feel like they're the same species.
Are they? They're unknown monsters of some sort.
Yeah. So this next story is interesting. It has to do with a drag queen named Patty Gonya. That's her first name, Patty, last name Gonya. Miss Jackson, if you're nasty, right?
Yeah.
And a lawsuit going on with the clothing brand Patagonia. They're like an outdoor clothing and gear company based out of California. And, they're very much into the outdoorsy scene, and they have a specific logo, specific font. Their advertising is very specific. And Patagonia, so she's a drag persona. Real name is Win Wiley.
which is a great name.
I would just use that. I don't even
Yeah.
know. Maybe I don't know who knows if that's even his real name, but uh, but Patagonia is suing Wiley for $1, and want him to stop using the name and fonts that look like their trademark and stop selling products because Patagonia has products on her website like t-shirts, stickers, I guess, stuff like that that says Patagonia and it's very similar to Patagonia. It's not exact, but it's similar enough for someone to get icky about it. I don't
That
know.
is.
I
Yeah.
There's a picture we have somewhere with the two. Maybe you can put that up.
Yeah, I'll put that up.
But Patagonia said that it had an agreement with Wiley. He said that's not true. So now there's all kinds of stuff going back and forth
Yeah.
about it. But if you go onto Patagonia's merch website, the drag queen, it says sold out and no items are for sale. I bet it's because of this ongoing
Yeah. I
issue.
think Win Wiley's lawyers probably told him to take the shit down until this gets settled.
Well, this is great press for Patagonia because I never even knew this drag queen existed until this week. And so Wiley, Patagonia, has 2 million social media followers.
It's huge.
Yeah, that's a lot. And they've raised over $3.7 million for environmental and social justice nonprofits. Wiley wants Patagonia to drop the lawsuit, saying it's not a brand conflict. This is a quote from Wiley. This is not a brand conflict. This is a corporation trying to erase an activist. This is how corporations bully individuals who cannot match their resources because this would take away not only my activism and career, but also the livelihoods of the team I employ. I don't know if I fully agree with that statement there
No, I don't either. And
because you
well,
can't just start copying off of some other company and then say, but I'm doing good things. You just to let me
right.
do it.
Yeah, that's not gonna fly.
So one of the sticking points here is the idea around parity and whether marketplace confusion is created. I I mean, a drag persona of somebody else or another company is kind of a parody in a way, but I don't know. I think Patagonia has a lawsuit on their hands here.
Yeah, I think they really do. And I think, we certainly know drag queens. We know of a famous drag queen that lives and works in Virginia and Northern Virginia and Washington, D.C. called Destiny B. Childs, who's been on this show many times. And I always thought, well, did Destiny Child, the group, the music group, ever come after you? Because you would think that, but no, because our friend Destiny doesn't sell merchandise.
Right. If you're
And
not making anything off of it, I'm sure this company or these group members are not going to bother with you.
right,
It isn't until you start to make a splash that they think they're going to miss out on something,
yeah,
some revenue, or maybe here's another thing. Patagonia could do something completely crazy, maybe something illegal, wrong. She could
right,
commit a crime. I'm just saying that, and then it could be related to Patagonia, the company, and it's bad press for them
yeah,
or bad
exactly,
association. And that's another thing. You don't want to mix these brands up because they're going to mix it up.
exactly.
I
Well, not
mean,
only that, but and Patagonia's lawyers are telling them you have to do this because if companies don't protect their brands and the trademarks that they have, they'll lose them. You have to do that.
but here's one thing. I don't think just because her name is Patagonia, I think the name should be allowed. I don't think they should sue her for that.
it's
And
the
I
other
don't think they
stuff
have a problem with the name Patagonia, the play on words there. I think that they have an issue with the selling of the merchandise that
and the
looks too
logo
similar to
too
their
similar.
stuff.
Yeah,
Although Wiley said somewhere, I don't know where I saw it, but I was reading up about it, and she doesn't think that the font is well, she said the font's not the same. That's true. It's
yeah,
not exactly the same, but it looks
yeah.
similar enough.
Well, she
that
also had the mountain with the colors, and
there's a
I mean,
mountain there. And I mean, the G is, I noticed, I studied it very heavily. The G was a little different, but it still had the same vibe as
the same
Patagonia
vibe.
did. Right.
That's a good word for it.
And she was doing it on purpose.
Of
It's not,
course.
it's not like, oh, I accidentally did that. Sorry, guys.
Right. Right.
I think if she
I don't know.
loses, she should have to climb a mountain.
Well, she could still do all the great work that she's doing to raise money for environmental causes. Just change your freaking name. Just be someone
Well,
else.
she doesn't even have to change her name, but I don't know. But I guess the whole point was to
She
be
does if she wants
associated
to
with
sell.
Patagonia.
Yeah, if she wants to sell merch and stuff, then she has to change her name.
Well,
Plus,
it doesn't sound like Patagonia will be on this show anytime soon, considering how we don't agree with her.
no, I'm not inviting her. And also, you know how I feel about drag queens with mustaches. It's just weird. Yeah. Don't you want to look at that beautiful hair that she has and the beautiful dresses that she wears? Why do you want to ruin it with a friggin' mustache?
Yeah, this is like I wouldn't say a brand new phenomenon, but it's been happening for like 10-ish years, maybe a little more, with like messy drag being a trend.
Or
Just
ugly drag.
just put on whatever you want. We used to call it
Yeah.
booger drag, but some people put glitter in their beards, which is trying to zhuzh up that, but it's a different thing, and it's a
I
whole
know it's a
different
thing.
category.
I just don't like it. I want my drag queens to be pretty.
You want to mistaken your drag queen for a real woman, don't you?
Not necessarily, but I want them to try to look pretty instead of harsh.
I like the art of the illusion, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. I love that too.
Or an homage to something, because drag queens are supposed to love everything pretty. At least
Yeah.
that's how it used to be.
Yeah.
Now I just think there's a lot of shock value and trying to be opposite of what you expect.
Exactly. And this is why I don't watch RuPaul Drag Race. I don't like that brand of drag queens. It doesn't do anything for me. I mean, I liked when Bianca Del Rio was on it, but that's about it.
Bianca is a scream. She's hilarious.
Been on the show before too.
No way. I gotta go look
Yeah.
up that episode.
Wow. I thought he was a fan of the show, which is why I invited him on, but apparently not.
Well, that must have been a long time ago. I don't remember.
It was a long time ago. I mean, we had been doing this for 16 years. Anyway, do you still have a functioning VCR hooked up to one of your televisions? We'll tell you why we're asking right after these special messages.
This, my friends, is the Swish Edition.
There's no excuse not to listen. Swish Edition.
Straight to VHS is a middle finger to AI, says Variety Magazine. Did you know? I didn't know this, Robbie. The last VCR was manufactured in 2016. There's not one company on this entire planet making VCRs anymore.
That's crazy because there's a whole community of people that still love VHS.
Yeah.
I think in a nostalgic kind of ironic way, I've seen them all on the message boards and social media. I wonder where they're getting their VCRs, because those things are prone to break.
Yeah, I guess they're just going to have to fix them.
When I was growing up, the VCR 8 tapes left and right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I still have boxes of VHS tapes. And there's probably a VCR here somewhere. But how about this? This is cool, and I think it's kind of a genius marketing move. There's a new movie being released straight to VHS and nowhere else. And that used to mean in Hollywood, if something came right to VHS without going to the movie theaters or appearing on HBO or something, then it was
a stinker.
Movie.
It was a stinker. Yeah.
Right. And executives decided, we're not going to spend money advertising this and putting it in theaters around the country.
But we will make a couple thousand copies of it and ship it to all the blockbusters.
Exactly. And people will discover it, and then maybe it'll be a cult hit someday. Anyway, this movie is called This Is How the World Ends. It's a low-budget sci-fi adventure about a brother who sets out to find his sister at a hedonistic party deep in the desert. and this was made by South African director Robert dos Santos. And he basically is saying, I'm going to send it right to VHS because I'm really unhappy what's happening with AI. I'm really unhappy with what's happening in Hollywood and the movie industry right now. So I'm just going to release this myself, and I'm going to release it on VHS,
So
which I think is
I'm guessing he didn't use AI or any kind of thing when he made this movie.
yes.
I would hope not.
He said he didn't.
If he's very much against it this bad. Well, here's the thing. He's releasing it to a very niche audience. I will say that.
That's very true. But he already has over 1,000 pre-orders. And the movie came out on June 7th, which was either Sunday or maybe that was Monday. I don't know, Saturday or Sunday. It was this past weekend. I just think it's a great gimmick. But there is a PS to this. He did go to Cannes. He didn't show it there, but he had some meetings with some producers, and
that's because Cannes doesn't have a VCR. He couldn't show his movie there.
That's true. So it looks like he's going to get a theatrical release at some point. So
okay,
I guess people like the movie.
Well, people like the novelty of this VHS thing, and there are people that weren't around when VHS was a thing, and they sort of look at it as this nostalgic. I guess it isn't nostalgic for them if they didn't grow up with it, but they think it's kind of. But here's the thing: I don't know how you feel about VHS. I mean, when I was growing up, VHS was the only thing.
Right.
I mean, you had Betamax, but that fell out real quick, and then there were laser discs somewhere in the background, but VHS was it. And there were so many times where I got so upset about a tape getting destroyed by the VCR, the tracking being messed up, like stupid stuff. So I wouldn't go as far as to say I hate VHS, but I am not nostalgic for it. I love the VHS box art and looking at all the movies in a store, but I don't collect them. I got rid of all my VHS as soon as Blu-ray or DVD and Blu-ray came through. There's some that I got rid of that I kind of wish I kept because some of them are worth a ton of money now.
Yeah, what did I tell you? You don't ever get rid of anything.
Well,
keep it because you never know.
I moved across the damn country, Scott. I had to get rid of some stuff, but no, there's like maybe like 10 or so that I wish I kept, but no, I don't love VHS. It's not a good format. The quality is low. The sound is bad, and
you don't have to watch it on VHS. It's going to come to the theaters, and I'm sure there'll be a DVD, and it'll be on streaming, and it's going to be in all the normal places. But as of right now, if you want to watch it early before everyone else, you have to watch it on VHS. Anyway, I thought it was really cool. Independent filmmakers are really making a splash. You were just talking about Backrooms a couple weeks ago, made by a YouTube creator. What did that make? Like $80 million?
It did. I think it was $81 million on a budget the budget was $10 million, I think.
Yeah. So people are paying attention to these people more and more all the time. So
also there's this
eyes on them.
Backrooms had a built-in audience because this was a series on YouTube that kids are watching. Kids are still going to the movies. You just have to entice them,
right?
With something like Backrooms, and there's other podcasts I've been listening to where people have gone to see this movie, and they're our age, and they said the majority of people in that theater were like under 30, like they were all young kids.
Yeah, because they found out on YouTube. I mean, YouTube's the number one streaming platform anywhere. So
when it's funny because then a big blockbuster like Masters of the Universe just came out this past weekend, and that didn't make anywhere near as much money as Backrooms did, or even Obsession, that the other one that's out now from a YouTube creator, and that one only was made for $750,000, and it's made, I think it's upwards to $100 million at this point. It's crazy.
We need to make a movie, Rowdy.
We totally could. You just have to get the kids on board, and you know how we feel about the kids.
We're just going to have to, if we want to make money, we're just going to have to kowtow to them.
You know what we could do? We need to make a live action Statler and Waldorf movie where we're the two guys in the balcony on the Muppets.
So we can get sued too.
we
I
can
am
call
not.
it. We can call it Watler and Staldorf.
I am not getting sued by friggin' Disney. No, thank you.
And now for something completely different.
Sink into the chair. I'm high as fuck. Me too, cuz. Me three, my nigga.
Guess who's back?
Ghostface is still killing folks.
You know what they say about the crazy ones? They got the best.
You suck. Boo your ass. Get the fuck out.
Scary Movie. Only in theaters Friday. Get tickets now.
So, and speaking of movies and money, so Scary Movie 6, well, it's just called Scary Movie, but it's Scary Movie 6, just came out this past weekend and it hit #1. So there were 3 consecutive weekends where a horror movie, we're going to consider Scary Movie 6 a horror movie. It's the 3rd consecutive week where a horror movie has been #1.
Wow.
You had Obsession, then you had Backrooms. Now we have Scary Movie 6. And Scary Movie 6 didn't make as much as Backrooms did, but it made $55 million, which is not anything to shake a stick at, you know? Especially for a 6th entry in a film. Much like the Scream movies, they continue to make a lot of money, which is pretty cool when it comes to a franchise where they're past like a trilogy. Normally these things go straight to DVD at this point, you know, or straight to streaming. But
this most recent one made more money than any of the ones before it.
Well, people were excited that the original cast and the original creators were back, the Wayans brothers, and Regina Hall, who plays Brenda, and Anna Faris, who plays Cindy. Cindy and Brenda were in some of the later sequels, part 3 and 4, I believe. But the Wayans brothers didn't have anything to do with 3 and 4. They sort of got forced out by the Weinsteins. So, but now they're all back. And that's sort of what brought everybody back to want to see this in the theater again. There was high hopes. I remember seeing the trailer for the first time a couple of months ago. I was like, I have to see this movie.
Yeah.
And I did. And I do have to say, I'm disappointed in it. It wasn't not as funny as I wanted it to be. So it's, you know, like the first Scary Movie followed the plot to Scream, the original Scream. So it was really just an exact copy of Scream, just with all these gags and
it's parody.
And, you know, it's a spoof. And then the later sequels, they started mixing other movies in. Now this one, the plot structure is based on Scream 5. If you remember, Scream 5 was the big comeback Scream after Part 4. Scream 4 had come out in 2011. Scream 5 came out over 10 years later. And that's the one that had Jenna Ortega as the young girl. Well, she's like an adult, but she's younger. And this follows that plot pretty much to a T. Now, things get good in the movie. I will say the last act was good. I wish the whole movie was like the last act. There were some funny meta references in there, and they brought in some fun celebrity cameos at that end part. There were others throughout the film, but this really worked. And so I didn't hate it, but I just wanted it to be more. I wanted to be crying, laughing, and I maybe chuckled.
So what, you weren't slapping your knee?
No,
No.
wasn't slapping my knee.
And I haven't seen it yet, and I feel bad. Robbie was disappointed at me that I haven't seen it yet, but it's just been a really crazy busy week, so I haven't seen it.
The tomato meter on Rotten Tomatoes, the critics give it 24%. The audience gives it 69%. I think they're being a little kind.
You think they are?
I mean, I wouldn't give it as low as 24% because just because the movie wasn't funny doesn't mean does it. I mean, it's a comedy. I wouldn't say it failed because it didn't make me laugh. Also, I didn't hear anybody else in the theater really like laughing
Laughing it up.
loudly. I heard
Yeah.
some chuckles. There were some people in the theater with me when I saw it, like people I didn't know, and there was nothing up, roar. There was no one roaring.
Yeah.
So maybe it did fail in a way. I'd maybe give it like a 65%.
We'll see how fast it moves from theater to streaming.
I think this next weekend it's going to take a huge plummet.
Yeah.
Well,
There's
that's
a lot
also
of good
because
things coming out.
Disclosure Day comes out today, and
Right.
I'm going to see it this weekend. It's a Spielberg
And
film. You know how much I love Spielberg.
And also Stop That Train is coming out today.
Yeah, but Stop That Train is not coming to Walla Walla. The train is not stopping here.
The train is not going to Walla Walla. That is hilarious. Do you guys even have a train there?
No, we don't.
No train either?
Amtrak comes to the Tri-Cities, which is about an hour away.
He doesn't have a vet. He doesn't have a Target. He doesn't have a train.
No Target.
The hell are you doing there?
We don't have a Wendy's.
I know why you're there.
But we have other things that aren't commercial.
You have wine. You have wine.
Right. We have nice restaurants that aren't part of a chain.
There you go. Well, those are my favorites for sure. For sure. All right. Well, I think I decided that I'm not going to go to the movie theater and see it. I'm going to wait and see it when it comes to my TV.
Probably good. It'll probably be out before you know it. But
yeah,
are you
other stuff to watch?
Wait, are you talking about Scary Movie 6 or are you talking about Stop That Train?
I'm talking about Scary Movie. Yeah.
Now, are you going to see Stop That Train though?
I don't know.
In the theater? What about Disclosure Day?
I mean, I'm seeing nothing this weekend because Kristen's going to be here all weekend. So I'm certainly not going to waste my time at the movie theater when I could be hanging out with her.
Yeah. I mean,
so I guess I could go
like
to something on Monday.
Well,
which one should I go to? Disclosure Day?
You should do Disclosure Day because I'm definitely going on Saturday. I already bought my ticket.
Okay.
So we can talk about Disclosure Day.
I refuse to go to the movies on a Saturday or Friday or Sunday. It's got to be Monday through Thursday during the day when everyone else is at work.
Yeah, all the old ladies with their walkers with the tennis balls on them coming in when you're going to see it.
But don't I know it? And exactly. Exactly. Especially if I go on the half price Tuesdays.
Yeah, no, tons of people come out for the half price Tuesdays.
Yeah, it's a good deal.
I saw Obsession. Really good deal. I saw Obsession on a Tuesday. That theater was packed. It was like the old days.
You saw it at night or during the day?
It was Tuesday, so it was after work, but like it was around dinner time, like 6:00 that we saw it.
Got it. Cool. I forgot that you have a 9 to 5.
Well, it's really like a 7 to 3:30, but
well, that's ridiculous. Who needs to start working at 7:00 in the morning?
I ask myself that every damn day.
So, did you know that voice cloning scams are on the rise? Have you heard about this?
I first heard about voice cloning in Scream 3 back in 2000.
Right. That is true.
That was like, oh, wow, that can happen. Well, it is happening now for real.
It is really happening. It actually happened to Dale's grandmother. So it's scary, and it's happening in greater. Think about my voice. My voice has been out there on this friggin' show for 16 years. I mean, I'm sure if someone really wanted to fuck with my parents or my sister or Dale, they could do some damage, right?
I mean, you could call me and say that you're in jail and you need money, and I'd hang up anyway, even if I thought it was really you. So
I knew that. I knew that. But there are a lot of dumb people out there, and a lot of people who are more compassionate than you. Americans lost $893 million last year to AI related scams. So they're definitely on the rise. And the bots, what these bots do is they mimic your loved one's voice almost exactly. And they can get them to say anything to you, Send me money. I'm in jail, or the car broke down and I need $1,000 for a new radiator. Whatever. But so this is what one of the things they're telling people to do, and I've got this covered. It's already covered. It's been covered in my family for decades. Every family and group of friends, I guess, if you think it might happen between you and your friends, should have a secret code word. Have you heard of this concept before?
I have.
Yeah, my family has one. My parents came up with this idea when my sister and I were young teenagers, probably 12, 13 years old.
And what was that for back then?
If someone ever came to school and needed to pick us up, or if they wanted us to do something that didn't sound quite right, and they couldn't talk to us themselves. This was way before AI, obviously.
Right. I was going to say what.
Yeah, so we
So
wouldn't get kidnapped or something. I don't know.
so that person picking you up must have known the code word.
They would have to know the code word.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I won't tell you the code word, and you should have one, but you shouldn't talk about it anywhere near your phone. Don't ever write it down, and don't text it to anybody because, nothing's safe anymore. So you just whisper it into your sister's ear the next time you see her.
And hope that they remember it, because I thought I had one, but I can't remember what it was.
You're going to get kidnapped.
I wish.
You are going to get kidnapped. Oh my goodness. Well,
It'll be like the ransom of Red Chief. Someone kidnaps me and they're gonna pay money to give me back because I won't shut the fuck up.
I think there's a movie about that too. They decided to, well, fuck this. We can't deal with this snotty little kid. So they let him go.
It's an old O. Henry story, O.
Yeah.
Henry stories where there was always a twist, like an ironic twist.
That was good. Maybe that's what happened with Samantha Guthrie's mother. She was just such a pain in the ass. They decided to just kill her.
My God.
sure
I don't know. I mean, I'm curious to know what happens there. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that woman's not alive. I'll tell you that.
I don't think so, especially after this long.
Yeah. I mean, Samantha knows that.
But no, this AI thing. So a friend of mine, it happened to her grandmother too.
Yeah.
So she lost thousands.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm always worried about this happening to someone I know. And usually they prey on the elderly or someone who's older. And so I try to warn people, do not, if you think it's me, ask me something that only I would know.
Right. Or hang up and call me back.
Right. Hang up and call me back. Like I will understand if I'm really calling you about an emergency.
Yeah.
But also, here's my thing. I want to know where these scammers are, how they're cloning these people's voices. I mean, I guess it'd be easy for them to clone your voice or mine because they could just listen to the show, record whatever. There's all kinds of very sophisticated technology that can even copy your cadence and everything, the way that you speak and all the nuances.
They can even make a bot of your face and you do a FaceTime call and it would look like it was
so
me
crazy.
Talking to you and it wasn't me.
So it's dangerous and it's scary. So
But
just be careful.
Where do they get it? Everyone's living their life online now. So
Well,
that's where they're getting it.
I wonder if 30 years from now there's really sophisticated scams and then I'll get scammed by something.
Well, we're going to be all dead in 30 years. Do you think we're going to make it 30 more years? There's no way. The whole world is coming to an end very soon.
Every decade, every decade, well, minus the 90s, because the 90s were awesome. Every decade, people think that the world is going to end.
It seems like it, though. AI is going to take all the jobs. They're going to do all the jobs. So what are you going to do for money?
I have no clue.
Yeah.
They're going to have to figure something out.
They're already automating everything and they're having robots do everything, and they even want to put robots to clean all the hotel rooms here in Vegas. They don't need the thousands and thousands of maids that they have.
Well, here's the thing when it comes to robots doing human stuff. I am more okay with a robot doing something like physical labor versus creating something.
Sure, I agree.
Like
with
creating something, like you don't want AI writing books or directing movies, but I don't mind if an AI robot
Cleans the
cleans my toilet
Yeah.
because it's
Well
kind of demeaning for humans to to do that anyway.
well,
Let
I
them
get
do
it,
it.
but someone has to all those people, those tens,
They
hundreds of
need
thousands of people will have to find new
right.
jobs.
They need those jobs, so it's a dilemma. But if you
Yeah.
had to pick, we should create robots to do work that nobody wants to do or that nobody
Yeah.
should be doing, and but then giving these people other jobs. But what would they do?
Well,
It's a weird thing.
that's the
We're stuck.
question. And I was just talking to my brother-in-law this morning about this because they just announced this trucking company is rolling out all these new automated trucks. Well, he's a truck driver. And if all the trucks are going to be like robo taxis in here in Vegas or in New York, they won't need truck drivers anymore. And then what's he supposed to do? It's kind of scary.
I mean, that movie Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff has come true.
Yes.
Remember the Johnny Cab? It was the robot driving the cab, Johnny Cab, and then there was the real cab driver that was all mad that they were taking his job.
This is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
It's
But
funny when you watch a movie from back then or even older, and some of the stuff has come true.
it's happening. I know it's totally happening. It's very scary. And I mean, isn't that what Terminator is all about?
And that is really, I can't believe that we're falling into this trap. We've been warned.
We've been warned
We
for
have
decades.
been warned.
Skylab is coming to get us all.
Yes.
It's not a joke. I'm very scared about it.
No, it is something that, but I can't spend my time worrying about stuff I have no control over. I really have to figure that out.
Well, start saving more money then. I hope the CJ's wine business really takes off.
Well, I mean,
then you can retire.
Alcohol sales all across the board, all around the world, have been going down.
I know
because of many different things, but
mostly because the younger generation's not drinking.
Well, and then there's all the new reports of like any amount of alcohol is not safe, and but some people are just
that
like,
doesn't stop me.
No one's getting out of this world alive. Enjoy your time here.
There you go.
People want to live to be 100, but are those really good years?
No. And for a very, very small fraction of the population.
Not everyone can be Jane Fonda.
Right. Not everyone could be Mel Brooks.
Or Cher.
Right.
Living her best life. Well, she's 80 and she looks like she's about 50.
She's up there. That's for sure. Hey, I wanted to remind people that you should send in your questions for our later this summer. We're going to do a Ask Robbie and Scott advice show.
And I have had some friends already come to me with some questions, and I tell them to submit them.
Yeah.
And
so
also I think
a few.
maybe also in addition to questions, they should send some recommendations for movies they want us to discuss.
Absolutely.
Because we're going to do special episodes where we do a deep dive into a specific movie and see if there's any movies that you would like to hear our opinions of. It could be a genuine classic. It could be a B picture. It could be a movie that you just want to know what we'll say about it, or you want us to be subjected to watching it.
I love it. And or maybe a movie that's only available on VHS.
Yeah, Scott can pull out his his VCR. Yeah. I think it's funny when the kids, they call them VHS players. No one ever called them a VHS player. It was a VCR and nothing else.
Yeah. VCR, VHS. That is weird. That is weird that there were two different names. Yeah.
I don't remember what they stood for. I mean, the V was video, right? And R stood for
VCR
recorder.
Is video cassette recorder.
Video cassette recorder. And then VHS was video home system, I think.
Maybe.
Video home something. I don't know.
That's weird.
I never really stopped to think about it, really.
There's no reason to. And you don't have to anymore because we're never going to talk about it again.
Well, and look, we're under an hour, so we did good.
Amazing. So we did 2 hours and 11 minutes this week. And we're not getting paid any extra for giving you an extra episode. So.
Bonus.
All right, let's go to the movies. It's Friday night. It's time to shut up.
Next time I see you, I will discuss Disclosure Day.
Oh, maybe I will too if I go on Monday morning.
Do it.
All right, we'll We'll see you guys next week at our normal time on Wednesday.
Have a good weekend.
Bye.
Bye.
The Swish Edition is a production of Bethwick Media, LLC. Learn more about the show at swishedition.com. And don't forget to subscribe and leave a review on your favorite podcast app or site. But only if you like us.
This is the B-side to the episode that we did on that came out on Wednesday.
Yeah, it is.
We've talked about B-sides recently. This is the B-side.
This is the B-side. Maybe this will be the bigger hit.
Maybe.
That is hilarious. All right. Alrighty then.
That what I'm supposed to say?